It's been almost a year and a half since I've done a review on the channel, and it's not because I've stopped watching movies, because I am 66 movies deep into 2024, and 41 of those are horror movies. It's because I wanted to try some new things, and you guys allowed me to do that. But there was a film that I watched recently that just screamed for me to make a review for it, because I had a feeling that the film may get bashed for all the wrong reasons. And having been a former Blockbuster video guy, I always wanted to make sure that you went into a movie that was aligned to your taste and lowered your expectations if they were a bit too high. And that movie that we're going to talk about today is The Mousetrap. Alright, before we get to the review today, don't forget to drop a like and a comment on the video. It really does help support the channel and the spotlight that we try to shine onto independent films and filmmakers. Now, this summer through the end of September, every video that gets 100 likes and 100 comments, eligible subscribers will be able to win this Puppet Master Blu-ray box set. That's all 12 films, all yours, including free shipping, just for dropping a like and a comment on this video. And then go check out the other videos too and help boost those as well, especially that stream one, because that movie drops next week and we definitely want to get out there and support those Terrifier crew. Okay, let's get to the review here. Now, the reason why I felt I had the need to come out and do a review for this is because The Mousetrap knows exactly what it is. And it doesn't pretend to be anything more than just a good old-fashioned, cheesy, good slasher flick, reminiscent of those from the 80s that we would get all our friends together and just sit down on the couch and veg out to. And I went into this movie with absolutely no expectations. I didn't look up anything about the film. I didn't watch the trailer. I just knew it was another movie that was coming under the label of, hey, they're ruining my childhood by making these movies. And you know what I say? Ruin away, ruin away. If you make a good horror film that's based on a fairy tale or a cartoon from back in the day, I'm all for it. Now, when I first put down this movie, there was something unusual about the start of it. Something nostalgic. Reminded me of Spaceballs. There was a Star Wars-esque text crawl on the screen, and it was talking about how they were not associated with Disney or any of its subsidiaries, and a little ass-kissing as well. And from that point is when I knew that I was in for a damn good time. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. The film follows a group of friends who decide to surprise Alex for her 21st birthday by throwing her an after-work birthday party. But their fun night turns into a horrifying ordeal when they become the targets of a killer wearing a 1920s Mickey Mouse mask. The friends then must fight for survival as they're hunted down one by one within the confines of an arcade. The one thing that kind of bugs me about action films, and I don't know if it bugs you too, but there are certain films that you go in and we start off in the middle of the second act, beginning of the third act, where our protagonist is in peril, getting shot at, falling off a plane, whatever it is. And then we hear a voice narration come over that scene and they say, well, I guess you're wondering how I found myself in this mess. And then they take us back to the beginning of the film, which is either a few weeks or a month ahead of time. Well, The Mousetrap does something very similar to this, where the events of the movie is told through our final girl's best friend, Rebecca, who's being interviewed by the police about the events that unfolded at the arcade that night. Only that this was something that was cleverly explained by her character, because when she's asked about the events or the details of that night, Rebecca quickly explains that certain things that happened were told to her by the final girl, Alex. For example, Rebecca's telling the story of that night, and she mentions that Alex receives a phone call from somebody that doesn't say anything on the line, the breather, so to say. And the cops are like, yes, we got you. So how did you know that she got a phone call if you weren't there? And then Rebecca smartly supplies with a little bit of sarcasm, well, duh, she's my best friend. She told me about the phone call when I got there. And it's these little things like that that happen throughout the entire movie that kind of plugs in and fills the gaps in for maybe typical plot holes that you would find in a story. And this is one of the greatest strengths about Mousetrap. It's self-awareness. It leans into the absurdity, embracing the campiness of its premise. which is a killer mouse stalking a bunch of kids trapped in an arcade. And we get to see this play out throughout the entire film, especially with the one character, Marcus, their nerdy friend who knows all the rules about a horror movie and of course has a crush on our lead, Alex. He has some of the stiffest dialogue at points that doesn't make any sense and is going to make you roll your eyes in your seat.
Does it work?
Not sure what I'd say anyways. Hey, 911. It's a guy dressed as Mickey Mouse trying to kill us.
Haha, funny.
It wasn't a joke.
But here's where the cleverness comes in. There is a character named Marie who quickly calls him on his bullshit, and you're like, yes.
Let me try the door one more time.
Oh, right, because it's going to be less locked this time.
The film knows what it is, and it's not afraid to poke fun at itself. And in this story, we have our friend group, which seems to be a little bit modeled after the Breakfast Club. We have the popular girl, which is the final girl. We have the jock. We have the nerd. We have the outcast. We have the druggie and his girlfriend. And of course, we have some BFFs of Alex in the film, which is the kill pate. And as you expect, part of the story is revolving around that inner circle and some of the drama that is taking place within, and who likes who and who doesn't like this, and the druggy guy annoying everybody else. And as things begin to unravel, we start to see our slasher Mickey Mouse appear here and there, but the friends are so tied up in their own conversations that they blow it off as one of the friends being drunk in a mask and trying to scare him that night. Typical slasher things. Now, one of the things that is not the same as what we get. It doesn't revolve around the house. It doesn't revolve around the camp. There's no dreams guy in there. The setting is in an arcade, and one that is actually open in Canada, which is really nice because it's not an old arcade that's broken down like you see in Five Nights at Freddy or Willy's Wonderland. This is a regular arcade, so we get to see our characters throughout the film get kind of lost in the things that are going around. ADHDs, they see something shiny, they go and play a video game, or they go and get lost in the maze. And that is the perfect setup for our slasher to eventually pick them off one by one while they're distracted. So the strengths of the film, from my standpoint at least, is while the dialogue may be cheesy at times, we have characters that are dressed throughout the film. We got a cool mask in the movie. The friend group, not annoying. I really wasn't rooting for anyone to die. Like, there are certain slasher films that I'll watch and it's like, I hate everybody. I hope the slasher kills everybody, and let's go.
Oh, fuck.
Where the film lacks is, firstly, in the kills. A slasher film, outside of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where the kills happen off screen, what we expect today is to see, hey, we have a cool mask, now let's see some cool kills in this film. There's only a few that happen on screen, and they're very lackluster, things that we've kind of seen before, so nothing really kind of stands out, except for one that makes you say, oh shit, what the hell just happened? Now, I did some investigating on this, wondering why we didn't get to see maybe more graphic kills, and kind of chalked it up to maybe a smaller budget. But online, it says that the Mousetrap has a budget of $800,000. That seems a little high to me, especially since Terrifier 2, In a Violent Nature, had budgets that were almost half that, and some of the kills in that are over the top and memorable. So that was one of the things that kind of lacks in this film, is the kills are not really there. But it didn't take away from the enjoyment of the film. Now, my other negative about the film would be that this movie leaves so much meat on the bone when we're watching it. There's a scene where all the friends are going to finally confront the slasher, and then, bam! It's over. Credits roll. I'm like, what the hell just happened here? Everything picked up. I was fully invested in seeing where this was going to go, and then the movie ends. And, maybe they're leaving something for a part 2, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. There is one more negative, and there's something with the slasher that I almost forgot about to mention in my write-up on Letterboxd. And there's an element that this slasher brings that's never fully explained, and it's kind of forgettable. So I don't want to ruin it for you, but if you go and see the movie, you'll see it, and it's like, oh, why is he doing that? So hopefully, we'll get a Mousetrap 2, which they teased after the credits, and we'll get some of that explained. And if this movie takes off, it'll be nice to start diving into theories about who the mouse is and what it's tied to, etc., etc. Now, while this is certainly not a cinematic masterpiece or going to be a film that reinvigorates the entire slasher genre, Mousetrap is a fun, mindless escape. It's the kind of movie where you want to have a group of friends come over to your house armed with popcorn and candy and plenty of beer and, get ready to laugh, scream, and forget about the world for about an hour and a half. And if you like films like Student Bodies, Return to Horror High, The Mean One, or either one of the Blood and Honey films, then you're certainly going to enjoy this. I just wanted to let everybody know not to go in expecting an all-out slasher brawl, but a horror comedy that definitely delivers on the laughs, has good characters, has a great mask, and leaves you wanting more. Now, if you checked out some of my reviews on Letterboxd of the 66 films that I've seen this year, you may be surprised that I'm going to give this 3.5 stars out of 5. And the reason for that is because it delivered on the horror comedy, it delivered on the cheesiness factor, and I really enjoyed the film. And this is something that I will go back and enjoy on an annual basis, where there may be films like Immaculate or First Omen that are out there that are a little bit better in story. But how often am I going to go back and watch those? So that's where my ratings come in, is how often do I think I'm going to go back and watch it. Doesn't matter if it's an excellent film. If I'm not watching it once a year or every few years, then how good is it really? Now, before we go, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. If you saw this film, what did you think about it? If you're going to watch it, it's on Apple TV right now. Drop a like on this video as well. Don't forget, Puppet Master giveaway. Swing over to our Facebook page, Facebook group, and take part in the stream contest where we're giving away an Art to Clown Funko Pop this month as well. And until the next, see ya.